Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Family Sunday School. Do you like our theme music this week? It's because our story this week is filled with mystery and intrigue and disguises. And you'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, it's time for stewardship and for music. So everybody stop here, go grab your dollars and your bank, come back here, and we'll get ready to learn all about El Salvador and time to get up and dance.
Hi everybody, how are you? We've missed you, but man, have we been having a super fun time here in El Salvador, haven't we, Eloise? It's been great. So we know we left you guys with a question last week, and we want to see if you know the answer. So we asked you, what is the bird of El Salvador? And we've been seeing them quite a bit lately. And their names are the turquoise-browed motmot. So they're pretty awesome birds. You'll have to look it up and learn about them. So we learned a couple fun facts since we've been here in El Salvador. The first one is this El Salvador means the Savior in Spanish. They're also known as the land of volcanoes and earthquakes. Yikes, let's hope we don't have one of those when we're here. Oh no, it looks like we're in an earthquake. Ah! Oh my goodness, thank goodness that was done. That was a little crazy. Also, we've been eating some really delicious food here, some of our favorites. So the main foods that people eat here are rice, beans, and tortillas, some of our favorites. Not a lot of meat though. It's very expensive for people here to eat meat, so it's very much a specialty if you're able to have meat. So far we're learning a lot. Haven't bumped into our friend Emmanuel yet, but we think we're going to. So we're gonna leave you with one more guess. Something that you can think about. What is the favorite sport in El Salvador? Why don't you look it up and let us know. If you have any offering, we'd love for you to send it to church. We'd much appreciate it, and so would Emmanuel. Hope you guys are good. We'll see you next week from El Salvador. Bye!
One, two, three, Jesus is alive. 1, 2, 3, Jesus is alive. He died for you and me, but on day 3, Jesus rose again. Jesus is alive. 1, 2, 3, Jesus is alive. 1, 2, 3, Jesus is alive. He died for you and me, but on day 3, Jesus rose again. Jesus is alive. God loved the world, so He gave His Son. Jesus is our friend. He loves everyone. God loved the world, so He gave His Son. Jesus
Why, hello, everybody. Do y'all remember me? I've been here before helping Miss Joanna out. Well, I'm so happy to be here with y'all today. Are you sure you all don't recognize me? Hmm. You got it. It's just me, Miss Joanna. How are all of you? There, that's much better, isn't it? Well, maybe not yet. Hold on. Whew. It's really good to see all of you this morning. I bet you knew it was me, didn't you? I try to get into a disguise, and no matter what, people always seem to know it's me. But I did promise you a morning of mystery, intrigue, and disguise. So, disguise, that is kind of our theme for the last few weeks, isn't it? So, if you remember our Bible story, since Easter, we've kind of had the same stories where Jesus is appearing to people who knew him, yet nobody recognizes him. Even Thomas last week wanted to see the sores and the injuries on Jesus's body. That's what our story is about today. Jesus appeared to his disciples on the road, like poof, he just showed up with them, and they kind of just acted like it was normal. And then they didn't recognize him. And then when they finally knew who he was, poof, he just disappeared again. Well, it kind of reminded me that a lot of times things in our life are also disguised. It's hard to know like what maybe the big picture of something is when we're going through it. Like we have all these little things that we might be going through, but we don't know how they fit together. And so let's watch the Bible story today. And then we have two family activities this week, and we can talk more about what those might be and how we can use those things to see the bigger picture. Enjoy the story.
3 days after Jesus had died, two men were slowly walking down the road to Emmaus. They were walking slowly because they felt very sad. Why did Jesus have to die? And then all of a sudden, poof! A stranger began to walk among them. Psst. The stranger was really Jesus, but the men didn't know. What are you talking about? The stranger asked. The men were surprised. Are you the only person who hasn't heard? Jesus was a great teacher, and we hoped that he was the one God promised would save us from the world. But instead, he died on the cross. Then, this morning, our friends went to the tomb, but Jesus' body was gone. They said there was an angel instead, and the angel told our friends, Jesus is alive. But... Oh, stop being silly, the stranger said. How many times do you need to hear this? It was God's plan all along for Jesus to die and become alive again. Later, the men invited the stranger to stay for dinner. During dinner, the stranger picked up a loaf of bread, broke it, blessed it, and gave each man a piece. All of a sudden, the men recognized the stranger. It was Jesus, but then, poof! Jesus disappeared. The men jumped and ran from the room and went to tell the rest of the disciples that Jesus was really alive. God kept another promise.
In our lesson this week, it was hard for the disciples to see how what was happening in that day would actually fit into God's whole big plan. So this week, you're going to pull out some puzzles with your family. Lots of us have been doing lots of puzzles during Safer at Home. And puzzles are a great illustration because you take these tiny little pieces, and sometimes we get so focused into where these little tiny pieces fit that we forget about the whole entire big picture. So just like with a puzzle, where you always sort of keep that picture in front of you, we need to keep the big picture in focus in our lives. And so while you're doing the puzzle with your family this week, I want you to talk about the little pieces. What's going on in your life? What might be bothering you? What are those little pieces that you're having trouble fitting into that big puzzle?
I asked Sam and Ella over to help demonstrate our family activity for the week. Jesus was in disguise. So this week we're going to do a family photo shoot in disguise. There's a bunch of props over here, guys. Why don't you get on an outfit?
That was a lot of fun. Let's slow things down for a moment here as we get ready for our prayer and our blessing. Everybody, let's take a few deep breaths together. Dear God, thank you for sending Jesus. Help us to look for those things that might be in disguise. And keep our eye on the big picture. Amen. And our blessing today, peace be with you. So turn to everyone in the room and make a sign of a cross on their forehead and say, peace be with you. I want you guys to have a great week, and I can't wait to see you again soon.